Welcome to coverage of Aston Villa versus Everton in the Premier League. I'm your alternative host, Russ Vernon, for this clash this evening. Hopefully we'll have, should be an enthralling game. Some different formations for both sets of teams tonight, and some changes for both as well. And just to talk us through the changes and tell us how many changes each side has made, she'll say, let's find out from our match commentator.
Thank you, Russ, and I just about heard you there. One change significantly for Aston Villa, that's in goal, because Emiliano Martinez has completed his 10-day quarantine and starts in place of Jed Steer in goals. As per Everton, they make three changes, all of them enforced through injury. Asmir Begovic replaces Jordan Pickford. There's also no Seamus Coleman for injury, and there's no Richarlison for injury. So Solomon Rondon will play up front alongside Townsend and Rondon.
Thank you, JB. Townsend, Rondon and Gray are up front for Everton, with the players out on the pitch ready for kick-off, and kick-off is fast approaching. Let me hand over to your match commentator to guide you through the first half. It's over to you.
Thanks, Russ, and good evening to all of you here as we concentrate on proceedings here at Villa Park, Birmingham. Let's take a check on the two teams in more detail, starting with Aston Villa. They're playing a 3-5-2 as I've got it. So Martinez in goal, a back five. We've got it as Cash, Konza, Joanatzebe, Mings in target, although they can play five in midfield, obviously, so it's interchangeable. Then a three-man midfield of Ramsey, Douglas Luiz and John McGinn, and Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins are the two men up top. For Everton, as I said, three changes from the side that beat Burnley. So it's Asmir Begovic in goal, a back three of Mina, Godfrey and Keane. Then five in the midfield that we've got it. A well-being Alan, Decore and Dean. Although it could be a free in attack as well, alongside Gray and Townsend. We've got Solomon Rondon, a former charge of Benitez at Newcastle in his Newcastle days. On the bench for Villa, Steer, Brumaida, Traore, Young, Nakamba, El Ghazi, Howes, Bailey and Archer. For Everton, Lonergan, Kenny, Holgate, Gomez, Gordon, Davis, Branthwaite and Sims. The referee tonight is Craig Pawson from South Yorkshire. His two assistants are Simon Bennett and Dan Rothbatten. Fourth official is Simon Hooper, and VAR referee is Paul Tierney. We're all set to go then at Villa Park for the oldest top flight fixture ever to be played. They will take the obligatory knee, and of course in the ongoing fight against racism, not just in sport, but in all walks of life. And away we go then at Villa Park. Villa attacking the north stand, away to my right, where all the executive boxes are behind Asmir Begovic's goal. They're in claret and blue. Everton in chain shirts of white with dark shorts. Everton, of course, without those three key players out. We'll just have to see how that one goes this evening. But Rafa Benitez has made a good start, unbeaten. 3 wins and a draw from his first
wing back. Doesn't look as though that's the case.
From his first few games.
On the right, Damari Gray playing more central alongside Salman Rondon up top.
And I think Russ would be doing well to switch the sound down a little bit there, because we're getting a feed from another commentary team there. But we've got the. Hopefully you can hear me over everything. And as Everton now have possession, and the ball should be laid back from Michael Keane, who scored in the win against Burnley on Monday night. A free header from a Andros Townsend cross from the right-hand flank. As I say, the oldest fixture. This is the 225th time they've met in league football, Aston Villa and Everton, going back to the opening season of league football in the Football League, dating back to 1888. There have been 224 previous games, with 82 wins apiece for both Villa and Everton, with 60 of those games being drawn. So, who will win for the 83rd time today, I wonder? Or will it be the 61st draw? So there you are. And by the way, Barry Swain, if you're listening, that was a stat that I came up with myself and not anyone else. Thank you very much. Anyway, Villa on the attack with Watkins trying to get through on the far side, but the ball's out of play. And a goal kick it is to Everton. We're attacking the Old End in the first half. I should also explain, we've had 2 minutes gone. We're also live on we're live on the commentary road. We're also live on JB Sports. We're also live on JDAT Football. And we're also live on Storm FM and TC Hub 2, as well as Periscope, Twitter and Twitch, of course. I won't give you... of course, we've also got delayed commentary coming up after this broadcast. We've got Burnley against Arsenal from one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and that'll be with commentary from Russ Vernon. And that will be on as soon as we finish. So we won't give you what happened there at Turf Moor, but we can tell you that Liverpool have won and Manchester City, amongst others, have drawn against Southampton. And Brentford's cracking start to the season continues with a 2-0 at lunchtime, not too far away from Villa Park, with a 2-0 win over Wolves at Molyneux. I think a few coupons were ripped up on after that, just that one match. Certainly there. That was a Paul's coupon buster and a half, that one. And, of course, Watford beating Norwich by 3-1 as well. So plenty of good action in the Premier League. But Burnley and Arsenal will keep you in suspense on how that one ended, because we're not going to give you the score on that one, because that's going to be our commentary steam as Everton comes charging in, and it was Rondon inside the penalty area. And it's turned into the side netting. And they almost caught me on the hop again, Everton, just like they caught my team, Burnley, on the hop on Monday night. Ball played in there, and it was Damari Gray, in fact, and not Solomon Rondon, as I initially thought it might have been. And it was actually Solomon Rondon. I did have it right first time. Anyway, it came off a defender, and it's a corner. My apologies. First quarter of the game, Everton have it. Looking to continue their wrecking form so far. Townsend to take it far side in front of the Old End as that ball is whipped in there. And I think that was headed over again by Rondon. Let's have a look again. Ball played in. Yeah, Rondon, 6 yards. He's had 2 shots at goal here, Solomon Rondon. As I said, he's played under Rafa Benitez before in his Newcastle days and did score a certain amount of goals that always kept Newcastle's head above water when Rafa Benitez was in charge. Also formerly a West Bromwich Albion, of course. So he knows how this Premier League works as we come up to about 4.5 minutes gone here. Earlier today, we gave you a cracking Yorkshire derby in the Championship, which finished Hull City 1, Sheffield United 3, with Nicholas Jones, and a very good commentary he did too. Sadly, there were some unsavoury scenes between both sets of supporters, bottles and cans being thrown, which, of course, in this day and age is completely unacceptable, as Nicholas pointed out in the commentary earlier of the game. But hopefully we won't have too much trouble here at Villa Park between these two old adversaries. As I say, this is the 225th meeting between these two sides, and as I say, 82 wins apiece. That is some going. Certainly one of the oldest fixtures in English League football, as I say, dating back to the opening season of the Football League, way back in 1888. It's quite a staggering statistic. Here's McGinn picking it up in midfield, trying to get the ball to Target. Target on the left-hand side. Cross gets a deflection, and Villa now win their first corner off Andros Townsend. Good start to the game, this. Everton having the 2 best chances, falling to Solomon Rondon, and now Villa get an opportunity to try and get the opening goal themselves, or force an opportunity. Mings and Konza and Twanzeba will come up from the back. It's going to be Douglas Luiz to swing the corner in from the left-hand side. Now, what can Villa cook here from this corner kick? Here it comes into the penalty area towards the near post. Oh, a great save from Begovic from point-blank range. And the ball is not cleared away, and it's another corner to Villa. But Asmir Begovic in for the injured Jordan Pickford. Had just pulled off a blinding save. Here was a Krause. I'm not sure who got the header in. McGinn, I think he's down injured. The ball played in. It's Mings' header. Brilliantly saved. Right on the line. That was a brilliant reaction there by the standing Everton goalkeeper. That was unbelievable from Asmir Begovic. Oh, and he was falling backwards as well, which made the save that even more special, really. Villa almost in front. I don't think this is going to end 0-0, you know, guys. I'll be honest with you now. I think we've had 3 chances in the opening 7 minutes, and Villa still have Mings forward and McGinn forward and Watkins forward for this corner. Twanzaba is also in there too. It's going to be Douglas Luiz to swing it in again from that far side. In it goes, and it was miscontrolled there by Danny Ings. And now Villa can break with Rondon. He's got Gray breaking out on that far side, and this is Jamari Gray, who scored as well in the win against Burnley on Monday night. But Villa dispossess him. Former Birmingham player as well, so we get roundly booed by the 30-odd thousand Villa supporters who are inside the ground here at Villa Park as Ramsey brings it forward. Looks for McGinn. McGinn, good skills inside the centre circle. Peretz not once but twice. I tell you what, it's a good game now that's developing here. As Douglas Luiz takes possession. Now Villa slow it down a little bit. We're coming up towards the 8th minute mark in what's been an all-action sort of first 8 minutes here at Villa Park. The late game here. Of course, there's 3 more games tomorrow. Brighton involved against Leicester, I believe. And then it's Manchester United West Ham at the London Stadium. A game that we will be covering, actually, by the way, tomorrow. And, of course, there's that big London derby between Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea, of course. And then next weekend, there's the big one, of course. Mike Arneman and John Kay might want to put their ears to the ground for this one. Next weekend, it's the North London derby, of course. Just seeing Rafa Benitez there taking a few notes. Duncan Ferguson to his right. What a legend he is in the blue half of Merseyside. Started his career off in Scotland, of course. Had a bit of trouble when he was under Walter Smith at Rangers. Had to serve a prison sentence for assault. And then couldn't get back in the Rangers side. And then he decided to go to Everton and just made himself a cult hero. Won the FA Cup with them in '95. And played for them in, I think, something like 2 spells, because he had a spell at Newcastle in between, and scored a famous goal against Manchester United in 2005, where Everton actually finished 4th, but failed to qualify for the Champions League, crashing out in the qualifying rounds to Villarreal, who actually went on to the semi-finals that year. Here's Cash now for Villa. The former Forest youngster gets the cross in there, and the ball just goes behind the dead ball line for a goal kick to Everton. Nottingham Forest actually, speaking of Forest, they've of course disposed of Chris Hughton's services earlier this week. This is the header, point blank range, and Begovic's save was first class, you have to say, at that left hand post, because Mings headed that with some ferocity, there's no doubt about it, and Michael Keane just about did enough. Dean Smith thought it was there, but both teams have had chances. I don't think this is going to be a dull game by any stretch of the imagination. Ball out of play there on halfway. But certainly the save of the match so far has been Asmir Begovic's so far. Good first half here. Of course, we're also streaming this game in association with our streaming partner for the season, which is Melon App. Check out their website at melonapp.com. Anyway, here's Matt Target crossing from the left, hits the defender, out of play for a throw. Far side, hit Ben Godfrey, and it will be another throw then for Aston Villa with 10 minutes gone, 10.5 minutes gone here at the park. Live on the TC Hub, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and Commentary Hub 2. Plus, we're on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. Matty Cash is going to come over from the near side to take the throw-in from the far side, which is the Trinity Road end, of course, right almost in front of the tunnel in which they came out. Opposite where we're looking at the game at the moment, and Cash uses a towel. It comes in there. Denar, furlong style, throws the ball in. Begovic watches it all the way and catches it under no great particular pressure and relieves Everton pressure, and he gets the ball up, throws it out two-handed, and now here's Andre Gome, Alex Iwobi rather now on the ball. Longer hair now it will be these days. As we come past 11.5 minutes now. Alan, who was brought in by Carlo Ancelotti last season. No James Rodriguez. A lot of grave doubts about his future at the moment at Goodison Park, with Ancelotti now leaving for Real Madrid in the summer. At the time, though, when they got him about a year and a half ago, just over a year ago, there was big things expected. It was a great coup for Everton at the time. But Everton's transfer business has been a bit more savvier under Rafa Benitez these days. I mean, Gray and Townsend came for a combined total of about £2 million. Well, Gray did, and Townsend came on a free transfer from Crystal Palace. And what clever signings they've proven to be under Rafa Benitez, as Mings gets it out to the far side and Target tries to play a lobby ball. Look, asking a lot there. I think it was Target on the other side. They've swapped flanks, in fact, Cash and Target. Which confuses commentators a lot of the time. Anyway, so throw to be taken by Luca Dean, number 12. Luca Dean is the correct pronunciation, I'm told, although some commentators still call him Luca Dingy. But it's Luca Dean, I'm told. And I'm going with the perception of what most commentators would call him. Coming up to 13 minutes here at Villa Park in a feisty game at the moment. Villa 4 points from 12. All points, in fact, so far for Villa this season have come at Villa Park. Got a 3 points against Newcastle on the second weekend of the season, and then 2 weeks ago drew 1-1 with Brentford, who started really impressively this season under Thomas Rank, of course. His Target getting the ball forward up towards Ollie Watkins, who was bundled to the ground. The referee, Craig Pawson, says free kick. Fouled by Michael Keane, midway inside the Everton half. Just to the right. Just to the right-hand side a little bit. And John McGinn will take the free kick, the Scottish international. And Everton now completely up against it. No Seamus Coleman for them. No Richarlison. And no Jordan Pickford. But at the moment, Begovic has been a very good deputy so far, saving well from a point-blank range from Tyrone Mings. It's going to be Cash or Konza. Looks like it's going to be Matty Cash. He's with his arm up. Matty plays it across. And the ball chipped in there towards the penalty area. Konza's made a good worm from the right-hand side. And Villa have got it inside the area. And then it was stabbed goalwards from Danny Ings with the toe poke of the right toe poke. And just stabbed it a couple of yards wide of the target. Passed just over the angle of the left-hand post and crossbar, but Mings certainly kept it alive there as he played that in, and Ings just couldn't keep his right-footed toe poke down. But Villa, giving as good as they've got. They both had a chance of two each in this opening quarter of an hour. Looking at the Villa bench there, of course, and so many good players. Yeah, they've got. To get Danny Ings for the money they did against from Southampton was a terrific coup for Villa. I know some of the bigger teams could have snapped him up, like Arsenal and one or two others. Anyway, here come Everton now. They started really well themselves. Dean now finds Awabi down the left-hand side. Luca Dean continues to run, gets the crossing from the far side, and Tyrone Mings, the England international, just had to head it into the old end for a corner. And all of a sudden, it's Everton's turn to attack the Villa defence this time. Very open feel to the game, it's got to be said here. It's an enjoyable watch. Luca Dean, incidentally, is the replacement captain for Seamus Coleman. Tyrone Mings is the Villa skipper. Here comes the corner again from Townsend. And again, another header that goes wide. I think King was up there. Anyway, just went wide of the left-hand post. Michael King was certainly in amongst it. And it was King who got the header in. But Emiliano Martinez, in the Argentinian, he was one of the four players involved in that controversy in the World Cup qualifiers a couple of weeks ago when they should have been quarantining and not playing. It was that Brazil-Argentina World Cup qualifier which got abandoned after something like 12 minutes or something. Anyway, he's quarantined for 10 days. He didn't play. That's why he didn't play against Chelsea last week. Jed Steer took his place. But at the moment, no breakthrough in this Premier League clash. Remember, wins for Liverpool, draw for Manchester City. That'll open things up a little bit. Ings inside the penalty area, pull back and just behind. And away it goes to safety from an Everton point of view. But it's a good start to the game. Good open field to it. 68% possession Villa to 32% Everton. And it's Damari Gray. Oh, Robert Iwobi leading the charge. Iwobi's cross. Oh, and he needed a touch inside the 6-yard area from Solomon Rondon. And he just couldn't grow enough to apply the finishing touch. And it was a good break. In fact, it was Damari Gray who made the break. Gray got to the byline, crossed in from the left. Oh, he just needed a touch from Solomon Rondon, and that would have been 1-0 Everton without a shadow of a doubt. If he had about size 12 boots on instead of size 9, he certainly would have scored there. But both teams are really having good chances here. Danny Ings had another chance a moment or two back, which led to the breakout for Everton. I think we're going to have some match here today. I really do. Goal kick to Everton, and it's Martinez to take here at Villa Park. Remember, we've had just shy of 18 minutes of the first half here. Alternate commentary. Now, the win probability is quite close. Villa with a 37% chance, 32% chance Everton, and 31% the draw. I think it's too early to predict that at the moment. We've only had just over 18 minutes gone in the game. Just to keep you some cricket news, of course, at the moment that you confirm not too far away down at Edgbaston, they're playing the 2020 finals day, and Somerset are through by 2 wickets. If you missed it earlier today against Hampshire, chasing a very good, very low total of about 150. They got there with 2 wickets, just 2 wickets in hand, Somerset, and Tom Abell apparently was one of their match heroes, like he was in the quarterfinals against Lancashire. But that's one of the significant things. I don't know we'll try and get you a score update in the second semi-final, which is between Kent and Sussex. They're playing at the moment in the second semi-final, and if Russ can give us a score update from that as well, we'll try and give you what's happening in the cricket as well, because obviously T20 finals day is always a big thing. Meanwhile, John McGinn is on his haunches at the moment. And it's just feeling it a little bit there, McGinn. And they don't want him to be out. He's an influential influence on the Aston Villa and the Aston Villa side at the moment. I think he's just been checked for a concussion, and just making sure that he hasn't got things like double vision and the like. But looking back at that first 20 minutes, breathless. I think we needed this little break just to get our breaths back, because both teams have had 3 or 4 clear-cut opportunities between them, and still remarkably, it's 0-0. But tell you what, it's a good game of football. I don't think it'll be goalless for too much longer, I suspect. And remember, we don't do many 0-0s on these channels. No, I've not done a 0-0 for quite some time. Domestically, we've had a few 0-0s in the Euros, of course. I actually technically did a 0-0 in that Italy-Austria match, even though it ended 2-1 to Italy after extra time. But in a 90-minute match, it's very rare you see me covering a 0-0. So I would say you guaranteed goals today. I'm hoping I'm right. If I'm wrong, don't shoot the messenger. Right, anyway, 0-0 and the play's back underway, and it's Everton in possession now with Michael Keane. And Keane looks to Dean on the left-hand channel, and here he comes now, looking to take on a Villa defender again, which is number 20, Danny Ings, who got back there and did a bit of good defensive work, and Dean got his cross in, but it was headed away, and it will be a Everton throw-in. Almost in line of the Villa 18-yard box. Remember, we got later tonight, we've got a delayed commentary of Burnley against Arsenal from earlier today. And then tomorrow, more live commentary for you, as we've got live alternate commentary from the game at the London Stadium between West Ham United and Manchester United. We'll be on the air around about 1:50 for that one, 2 o'clock kickoff. across all platforms on the Commentary Hub, and of course the streaming partners JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2. Of course, we're also on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. Latest score in the cricket: 168 for 8 Kent in the 20 overs. In fact, that's just finished. So it's Kent against Somerset in the final, and at 6:45 Kent against Somerset will be away, and we'll keep you updated on the progress of that game throughout the second half of this one tonight. So Kent against Somerset in final state. So Hampshire and Sussex miss out, and that'll be a great disappointment to my good friend Matt, aka Trevor Sports. He's a big Hampshire fan, and I know his cricketing team, was so desperate to win. But so it's Kent against Somerset in the final. I hope it's going to be Somerset actually, because they've got some very good strikers of the ball. Tom Abell being just one of them, and surely sticking his place for the England 2020 side for the forthcoming T20 World Cup, which actually starts next month. Right, we're halfway through the first half in the football. It's Aston Villa 0, Everton 0. You haven't missed much. That's why I gave the cricket scores. We know when the cricket season's ended that the football season is now into full overdrive now. For Benitez, just trying to calm things down at the moment. He's just got quiet the last 4 or 5 minutes. But the first 20 minutes of this football match has been rip-roaring. It's almost been like an FA Cup tie, this game. Villa have a throw-in, incidentally. Tyrone Mings to take it, and he's looking for some support. And he's asking around with his arms out, and he's saying, come on, where's the support? Anyway, he throws it to the Villa captain, and he has to throw it down the line. Keane headers it away, and then in goes Douglas Luiz. Luiz now miscontrols it and knocks it out of play under pressure for a throw-in to Everton. Depleted Everton side. When you look at the players that they're missing, the likes of Pickford, Richarlison and Coleman, but the replacements so far actually have been quite good. Rondon Smith has had a couple of brilliant sighters, and of course Begovic has made that smart save from Tyrone Mings. Don't forget, we're also on Twitter, of course. Our Twitter handle is Commentary Live 1, and we'll be glad to have your glad to follow us. And also my own Twitter handle is at Stutzy83. You can give me a follow on that, where I give my humble opinions on a lot of subjects, including football as well. Also, the man of the match sponsor will be Commentary Services, who run this fantastic enterprise that we're all involved with, Barry Swain's company. Gives them young, aspiring commentators, and of course, our streaming partner for the season, and we're quite happy to have them on board. Incidentally, is the Melon app, and the Melon streaming app. And you can, if you want to know more about that, www.melonapp.com. Here come Aston Villa now with Matty Cash now down the right-hand side. Cash trying to take on his man, and he's beaten him. Illegally, says the referee. Free kick to Everton. Villa fans don't like that decision from Mr. Pawson, but it is a free kick. 25 gone, still 0-0 here on the TC Hub. Yeah, just wrestles Luca Ding to the ground there a little bit, and the referee wasn't going to let him get away with it. Good spot there by Mr. Pawson, the referee. There's Luca Dean, the man who was fouled there, the standing Everton captain with no Seamus Coleman due to injury. But Asmir Begovic, who wears number 15, has made some extraordinary saves so far in this match tonight. Just having one or two problems, but we'll try and work those back for you in just a second or two. Of course, Everton are a good side, and they've done really well so far. As we are back live now, well, like sometimes our monitors, so just be well aware of it. But being the professional I am, I'll always busk things. We've always been a good busker anyway. Anyway, we've got 26 minutes, and here's Mings belting it away from a crossing, a deflected cross from the left-hand side from Townsend. A little bit of a foul there, was there? No, says Mr. Pawson. I think Mina just made a bit more of a meal of it. Although he went over very theatrically there. almost a handstand type of tumble as Luca Dean tries to play a 1-2 with Alex Iwobi. It didn't come off. It goes behind for a goal kick for Aston Villa. And we're coming up to 27 minutes now at Villa Park. And I tell you what, it's been a good game so far. Target gets the ball forward, can't find Ollie Watkins. Watkins has one possession there, and he's got Ings in the middle. It comes to McGinn on the edge, and he can't hit them there. John McGinn shoots, and just wide of the left-hand post. Hit it well on the left foot, and just wide. He must have been about 23 yards out as he struck it, just to the left of the D. But it all came about for a slip there from Godfrey, which let Ollie Watkins in, and McGinn, well, in fact, he shot a bit wider than I thought he had. I thought it had just gone wide from the naked eye, but having seen another angle, it's actually gone a little bit more wider than what I actually thought it was. And the deception, of course, as well, with Begovic diving to his left as well, made it tough. Anyway, here's another attack in. It's Villa again with Watkins. There was just no one in. He just couldn't hold the ball up enough, and there was no support inside the area for Ollie Watkins in the end. Here's a Welby now, breaking towards the halfway line. Here he is now, over the halfway line. Gets the ball in there to Solomon Rondon. And Everton now charging forward, and it's Damari Gray inside the area. Good shot coming in, and hits Tyrone Mings. The Corey has possession, looks for Gray. Well muscled out of it, and it's that man again, Mings. He's having a good first half here, Tyrone Mings. Now he hits a long ball forward towards the right-hand side, but Danny Ings can't keep it in play. And the ball goes into touch. But Tyrone Mings distinguishing himself in a good couple of minutes there for Aston Villa. He's having a good little spell there, the captain of Villa. Both managers looking very poker-faced at the moment, Dean Smith and Rafa Benitez. As we come up towards the 29th minute now on the commentary hub. As Ben Godfrey now has possession. 3 attempts each. Only the one on target, that was Mings' header, that was well repelled. But the 3 attempts, even though they haven't been on to, well, 5 of the 6 haven't actually statistically been on target, they've actually been very good opportunities. Here's Luca Dean now from the short kick from Begovic now as he comes ambling down the left-hand side. He's got Iwobi here on the elbow up. This is Iwobi. Cuts inside. Looks for Alan, who finds Decore. Decore now. And they're going to the left-hand side now. This is Andros Townsend. Townsend gets the cross in and he webs it in with plenty of venom. But the Villa's defence, unlike Burnley's the other night, were up to the test. But here's Iwobi now. Iwobi now running at his man. Plays the ball in. Cannons off a Villa player, but into his back again. Left-hand side. Cross comes in from Luca Dean. Measures it to perfection. And headed away again. And in fact, a free kick has been given to Aston Villa. Foul on Tyrone Mings. Just been... in fact, there's 2 Villa players down. I think the other player there was Matt Targett. It was Iwobi again who put a nice little pass in there. Luca Dean with a testing cross. And in fact, the player that came in there, like a boy in a China shop, was Ben Godfrey, who took Mings out, and Matt Targett's in a bit of pain as well. Tell you what, the Villa medical staff are working overtime. They've seen to John McGinn, they've seen to Tyrone Mings, and now they're looking at Matt Targett in the space of about 5 or 6 minutes. He kept very busy here. Just to remind you, in the 2020 semi-finals, Kent and Somerset are through to the final, which starts at 7:15 British time tonight. And we'll have a few updates of the opening innings across all platforms for you as well on the T20 cricket. And then after I finish here, I think I'll watch the climax of that one as well, because it looks a really good game on paper. Kent against Somerset. Of course, Kent beat Sussex just now, and Somerset earlier today beat Hampshire by 2 wickets. Just to remind you of the actual scores in that game. 21 runs, in fact, Kent beat Sussex by. And 6:45 is the time when they get underway in that T20 final. 31 gone here. Coming up to 32 here in the in not too far away in the West Midlands, North Birmingham to be exact. Villa Park, one of the great traditional grounds of English football. Everton with a free kick. Villa rather with a free kick. Martinez has gone on with it quickly. Back to ball, back now to Urimina. And the ball now knocked forward, but Mings again should reach it, but doesn't. Rondon gets there first over on the far side. I tell you what, both teams are moving the ball around really well. Referee, I think, was going to play an advantage, and I think he has. And here's a well-being possession. Luca Dean on the elbow up. The ball played into the 6-yard area where Rondon goes for it, but he was beaten to it in the air by Konza. But the referee is blown for a possible offside, maybe against Solomon Rondon. Well, the referee, of course, is having to have eyes in his back of his head tonight, Craig Pawson. At the moment, he's doing a grand old job. It's been tough, but it's a game really that's flown in every conceivable way. Damari Gray was the player tricked by Mings initially, which caused the referee. I thought he did well, actually, Mr. Pawson. Letting the game flow. They are, under that new directive, allowed to flow the game every time. McGinn shoots, snap on the snap. Shot it might break to Cash inside the area. Cash shoots just wide of the right-hand post with his left foot, just to the right of D. It was McGinn who had the first snap shot from outside the penalty box. Canning off a defender. Might have been going in as well. And then Cash did well. Got it onto his chest. Under pressure, despite the fact that he was under pressure from 2 Everton defenders, namely Keane and Luca Dean. Still got his shot off left-footed. And just wide of Begovic's right-hand post. And once again, both teams making good chances at Villa Park tonight. And that can only be good for the game so far as we come up towards the final 11 minutes of the first half, plus any injury or stoppage time to be added on by 4th official, which is Simon Hooper tonight. VAR referee, incidentally, is Paul Tierney. Here's Matt Target now for Aston Villa. Here's Jacob Murphy. Jacob Ramsey, I should say, not Jacob Murphy. Ball played in there towards McGinn. McGinn now loses possession, and Everton can come away with this with Alan. Decore now picks it up midway inside his own half. Feeds the ball to Luca Dean, who has to knock it out of play. Off by a Villa player for an Everton throw-in. Okay, it's still midway inside the Everton half of the field. Earlier today, Brentford won 2-0. Liverpool won against Crystal Palace. And Watford won 3-1 against Norwich. And the big result of the day has to be Southampton's 0-0 draw at the Etihad. There's some VAR controversy in that one. As for Burnley Arsenal, I'm not giving you the score. I'm remaining tight-lipped on that one because Russ Vernon will be commentating on that one in a delayed stream after we're finished here at Villa Park tonight. And of course, we've got some live football tomorrow, live commentary tomorrow, alternate commentary of West Ham against Manchester United tomorrow afternoon from 1:50. Here's a Welby now for Everton, making his way towards the Villa penalty area. Welby still for Everton, gets the cross, deflects, and that should be an Everton corner off Douglas Luiz. 9 minutes to half time, and Everton have another chance. Good running by Welby. Just gets a slight nick off Douglas Luiz, as I say. And a corner it is. But so far, Everton really giving as good as they've got as well. Damari Gray getting a few boos from the Villa fans, of course, who former Birmingham, started his career across the city at Birmingham City. Takes the corner. Deeper one this time. And the ball now laid off and crossed in there from the left-hand side. McGinn puts it out for a needless corner. McGinn couldn't have been sure if there was an Everton player with his shoulder. He just couldn't take that chance, and I think he's trying to explain that to Martinez, Emiliano Martinez, that he couldn't take that risk. He couldn't leave it. Easy for Emiliano Martinez to say those things, but when you feel you're under pressure like McGinn was, then there you are. Corner taken short, now back to Gray. Gray, good with skill to get the cross in. It's a good one again towards the back post and Sullivan Rondon. But once again, you've got to credit the Villa defence. The ball and then was headed up in the air, and Emiliano Martinez, again under no great pressure, takes the ball, no problem at all. Here's Ramsey Raba running towards the area. Ramsey shoots, he might get a second goal. Good challenge there by Iwobi. Now the Corey to break. Townsend heads it on. Up towards the big man, Solomon Rondon. But a great open field to this game for a 0-0. It's been a very interesting and entertaining watch. Here's Iwobi now for Everton. Remember, 10 points from a possible 12. The only game that they've not won was a 2-2 draw against Leeds United on the second weekend of the season. Beat Southampton, beat Burnley, and beat Brighton as well this season. Ball laid up towards Danny Ings. Ings trying to touch it on, but surrounded by Everton players. Had scored for Everton for his previous three. Scored against Everton, rather, Danny Ings for his previous three clubs. Burnley, Southampton and Liverpool. So he has scored in a Merseyside derby before. And it looks as if John McGinn is probably not going to be able to continue. Well, he's coming off anyway. And the medical staff just tendering to him at the moment, or tending to him. And it looks as if we're going to see the end of him, I'm afraid. And it's a concussion substitution. So Marvelous Makamba will come on. Now, I don't know how the concussion subs work, but anyway, Marvelous Makamba comes on. I'm sure Russell will keep me up to date with those rulings. I've never had to commentate on a concussion sub before in my life, so it's a new one for me. But he's getting a good applause from the Villa Park faithful. Doesn't look as if he's shaking off his double vision. And he's going to be tended to. We'll have to check that one out a little bit later on, what the ruling is for that. But John McGinn is actually sitting on the bench receiving treatment from the physiotherapists on the far side. As we now come up towards the last 5.5 minutes of the first half. As Alan takes possession midway inside the Villa area, so inside the Everton half rather. Then Keane knocks a long ball, which has gone all the way down the park to the other goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. So 0-0. John McGinn has gone off for a concussion substitution. And we see Marvelous Makamba now take his place. 40 minutes of the game played, and here's Tyrone Mings now, who's had a super first half in defence for Aston Villa. Certainly in the running for the Player of the Match award. A decision I've got to really make a bit later on. The amazing thing about it all is that despite all the opportunities and the openness of this first half, the score sheet is just blank. So Danny Ings not happy with the referee about something, maybe a bit of pushing and jostling going on. But good first half here at Villa Park. Just needs a goal and it'll get better. Louise knocks it on. Ollie Watkins, pace to Burn. Looks for. I'm just trying to figure out. It's Douglas Louise who goes down. Free kick. Decore with the challenge. A little bit clumsy there from the former Watford man. Mina took the ball, but it was Decore's foul. 4 minutes to half time. Can Aston Villa shake the world and go ahead in this game? Everton, remember, unbeaten. Villa with only 4 points this season from their opening, from a possible 12, but they were all gained at Villa Park, so they are in a way unbeaten here at their own ground. Sometimes in the Premier League, when you're not a bigger like or top 10 side, you've got to make your home ground a fortress, and certainly Villa have done just that. Target with a free kick then from the far side. In it goes towards the area. The old jump for it, and it was a loose ball, and I think Everton got a foot in there and got it away. Konza plays it out to Ramsey. Ramsey now on his turn, and Ramsey might get down the right, but Luka Dean can shepherd that one out for a goal kick, no problem at all. Excuse me. 42 minutes gone, free to play. I'll be glad at a half-time cuppa. That's going to be coming my way at half-time while Russ runs through the day's news. At half-time, I'm going to have a lovely, lovely cup of tea. I think at half-time, and wet my whistle. Well, what we hope will be just as an enthralling second half to come. Still got at least a couple of minutes and a half to go of this first half, plus any injury and stoppage time. I think there'll be at least a couple of minutes I would predict added on, because we've had some two little lengthy treatments for McGinn and for Tyrone Mings and for Matt Target especially. Here's Ben Godfrey now for Everton down this far side. He's got Townsend on the overlap. This is Townsend now picking it up on the right. Godfrey now gets possession. Godfrey now looks to get the crossing, looking for Rondon, but it's too close to Emiliano Martinez. And here comes Villa again. And it's Douglas Luiz leading the charge through the centre, but he was hustled out of it. And here come Everton again. And here's Damari Gray now running towards the penalty area. Former Birmingham youngster, of course. Shot comes in. It's straight at the goalkeeper this time. It was Townsend's left-footed drive this time. There's a little story before the Burnley game that Townsend received a DVD of all his goals from his mum, which sort of helped him to score that fantastic goal against Burnley on Monday night, which put Everton in front in that game, having trailed to a Ben Mee header. But at the moment, Townsend's shooting has just been a bit off kilter today. But it's been a terrific game of football. No goals yielded as yet, but still lots of time for that to change in certainly the last couple of seconds of the first half, and certainly the second 45 minutes that will be coming up very shortly here at Villa Park. We'll be also glad of the half-time cuppa as well, by the way. It's been a terrific game. I think everyone in his dogs thoroughly enjoyed this first half. We're now into that final minute of the first half then at Villa Park, and still that's out of play from Danny Ings, and that's behind for a goal kick. But I have been impressed so far with how the game has gone, and I think both teams will be satisfied with the way they've attacked. This has not been a dull 0-0, incidentally. By any stretch of the imagination. 10 seconds of normal time to play at the end of the first half. Here's Begarich's kick. One kick forward. That is one there. Welby takes possession down on the near side. We're now past the 45 minutes, and we're looking at Simon Hooper now to see how long we're going to have. And as I thought, 2 added minutes, I think I was spot on there. As Everton now come charging forward once again with Godfrey and now Townsend. Townsend has to pirouette. Looks to Gory, the former Watford man. The ball now knocked across to Keane, onto Dean. Now on the left-hand side. Welby trying to play a 1-2 with Luka Dean down the left-hand channel. Allen now takes possession. Knocks the ball in towards the penalty area, and that was a dangerous ball. Townsend's claiming a penalty, or I think he was trying to appeal the pass from Allen. I thought for a moment, Townsend was going to try and claim a possible penalty, a penalty appeal, but it wasn't. I think he was just applauding the attempted ball over the top from Allen. Anyway, here comes Ings now into Watkins. Watkins now has got Cash on that near side. Cash is crossed, gets a deflection, and whizzes out for a throw-in. We've got a minute to the 2 left. At the end of a fairly frantic and frenetic first half here at Villa Park. but still yielding no goals. It's a throw into Everton in line with their 18-yard box. Godfrey's not taking it too quickly. He's taking his time over it. Now Villa get the throw in. Can they launch one last hurrah towards the end of the first half, I wonder? As they prepare the tunnel, as Ings now touches it back to Target. Target now turns. Inside the last 5 minutes of the 2 added. Ings now goes forward. It will break here, possibly for Target. No, it won't. It'll break for a Welby. We've played the 2 minutes, and here's a bit of shielding there from Matty Cash. As the referee blows for half time, so no goals, but it's been superb. But Asmir Begovic, the star of the show, really for Everton, with that point blank range save to deny Tyrone Mings, that was undoubtedly the best chance. Solomon Rondon's come close on 2 or 3 occasions himself. McGinn had a good effort that went just wide before he had to come off for concussion, and Matty Cash is at the side too as well. But it's been a very good first half, played in a terrific spirit and a terrific manner. It's been almost played actually like an FA Cup tie, but even though it's 0-0, it's not been for the one to try, and it's been a really good watch. Well, you'll hear from me again in the second half, but for now, it's back to Russ with the scoreline here at Villa Park. Aston Villa 0, Everton 0. Here's Russ.
Thank you very much there to JB for great first half commentary. And JB, if you can still hear me, you don't need to respond, but with the concussion substitutions, it means up to 2 permanent substitutions can be made in the event of head injuries, even if all replacements have been used. And then the opposition team, will also be able to make an additional normal substitution at a time of their choice. So obviously in the games can make 3 substitutions per side. Now we can make an additional so now Villa made a concussion sub. I think it means Everton can now make 4 subs rather than just a 3 normal one there. The news for the day and what's been rumbling on for the majority of the day, me and Nicholas touched upon it earlier in the lunchtime offering that we brought to you from the JIP. Is that the county the administration are going to enter administration, which means they will lose 12 points to their total in the championship. Had a bit of technical problems there. Hopefully you can hear me again now. Just a few technical issues. So hopefully you can hear me again now, and we're back with you ready for the action in the second half, which the players will be coming back out onto the field of play in a moment or so, I would imagine, ready for that second half. We'll bring you the second half in just a second as we get ready for second half action with JB providing our action forwards. We'll be back with him as soon as we see the players emerging onto the field of play. Should be a good game. I had a few technical problems as well where the microphone, where one of the wires came out for our microphone that I am using tonight wasn't plugged in from, but we've seemed to go that back working again now, and I appear to be back with everyone. Again, I do apologise. We cannot help these technical problems that we seem to be having throughout the broadcast. A little bit there with technical problems on my end of things. 3 games tomorrow as we see Brighton take on Leicester, West Ham, Man United, and Tottenham against Chelsea. Almost getting ready for second half coverage of Aston Villa against Everton with JB, and we interested to see how that comes about. What happens there? Ryan added, said, "Do you think Demarai Gray will score?" I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Ryan. Sorry for your delayed response. I only just noticed your comment there. But sorry for your delayed response to your question. Get JB to answer that question in a second, because we're going to go back to him right now as the players emerging from that tunnel for the second half, or about to come back out right now. So I'm back over to JB, and JB, just before you start with the second half, come to you. Would you like to answer that question from Ren? I did. He says, "Do you think Demarai Gray will score in the second half?" What do you reckon, my friend?
Well, it's hard to say because both teams have had chances. We'll just have to wait and see, Ryan, and how that works. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Russ. Welcome back, everybody. As things stand at the moment, I've just been looking at the live league table as you were handing over to me, Russ, and at the moment, as things stand, Everton would actually be in second place behind Liverpool if it was to end the same way. If they won, I think they would go top, conceivably. So, what's an opportunity here for Everton now? Remember, to get 13 out of 15 would be a great result for them as Alan gets us underway in the second half. Everton now attacking the north stand where all the executive boxes are to my right-hand side. And Aston Villa now attacking their favourite old end rather, in the second half. Both teams, just to remind you, are in, Villa are in traditional colours. They're in claret and blue with white shorts. And Everton in their changed shirts of white shirts with darker shorts. As Mings heads the ball forward. And, Mings once again wins a second header there. And here's Marvus Makamba who's come on. He's been the one change that was enforced on Aston Villa at the end of the first half. He came on for John McGinn, which was a concussion substitution. But Makamba has come out for the second half. So I'll just run through them lineups again in a second or two, because here comes Target now in towards Ramsey inside the area. Comes off a defender. It's a corner. Hit Dakore, the former Watford player, and a corner kick. And already a good open field to the game. Both teams again getting in behind the defenders and Well, we've had 7 corners so far in total. This is the third one for Villa, and Everton have had 4. Douglas Luiz is putting 1 or 2 blinding corners, one of which led to Tyrone Mings heading a header that really tested Asmir Begovic from point-blank range. The save of the match so far for me. And it goes towards the penalty area, and it's knocked out. And once again, Douglas Luiz on the end of it, and that was almost a carbon copy of what happened before. Here's Target now sweeping the ball into the penalty area. Now the ball has been lost. Cash now wins possession. And it's been a real open start to it now again as Ramsey gets the ball out and looks for Douglas Luiz. Luiz crosses and goes behind for a goal kick to Everton. Whoa, what a start that might have been for Villa inside a couple of minutes. And once again, it was Douglas Luiz who asked all the questions. There was a bit of a crowd scene inside the penalty area. And I tell you what, surely we've got to be close to the opening goal of this game. Surely we have to be. Because if we're not, I'll be very, very amazed if this ends 0-0, because I've got to be perfectly honest with you. This has been a total terrific display of good attacking football, but yet nothing yielding any goals as yet. But at the moment at Villa Park, it's still 0-0. We're live on JB Sports, JDAT Football, TC Hub 2, and of course Twitter, Periscope, and Twitch, as well as the commentary hub itself. And we're delighted to have you with us. Incidentally, here come Everton now with Decore breaking forward, looks for Townsend. Townsend can't find it, and now Makamba can break. And Makamba can now actually break now for Villa. Which then we 1 or 2 technical problems, but here's Douglas Luiz now on the break. 48 minutes of the game played. 3 has gone in the second half. Luiz now breaks towards the penalty area and looks for Target. And Target now. Infield it goes to Ramsey. Ramsey inside the area. Good running from Jacob Ramsey. Gets the cross, gets a deflection, and bounces away for a throw-in. I'll tell you what, this is good football all around from everybody, both attack-minded and defensive-minded. Don't forget, in the T20 Blast finals day, Somerset went through by 2 wickets and Kent beat Sussex by 21 runs. They play in just over 15 minutes from now. In fact, they're just playing, under 10 minutes from now, the final not too far down the road at Edgbaston. But at Villa Park, Villa had a throw, which let's be fair, they've made a little bit of a hash of it. And it's an Everton throw now. Matty Cash now runs back to play at right back, of course. Dean Smith there. Lost John Terry during the summer, of course. And, of course, they lost the big... Of course, they've got Craig Shakespeare there. Craig Shakespeare, of course, who was number 2 behind Claudio Ranieri when Leicester won the title, and of course spent a bit of time as Leicester's gaffer after the sacking of Ranieri. But a very good number 2, no doubt about it. Craig Shakespeare, very competent number 2. As a number 1, he was found wanting. A former Walsall player, Craig Shakespeare. So too was Dean Smith. Started his career at Walsall and then went on to Brentford, where he made good strides. And then Villa acquired his services, got them into the top flight at the first time of asking, after Steve Bruce had missed out in the playoffs the year before. Beat Derby, if I remember rightly, at Wembley. As the cross comes into the penalty area. And they stayed up by a dodgy piece of Hawkeye and got to the League Cup final in the same season. That was 2019-20, when it was disrupted massively by the pandemic. And last season they finished in a very respectable mid-table position. And some good wins at Villa Park. I commentated on them last season when they knocked in 7 past Liverpool. But then again, when Leeds turned up a couple of weeks later, and I also covered that game, They were beaten 3-0. So I saw both sides of Villa in 2 games in 3 weeks, in a space of 3 weeks that season, and one was impressive, one not so impressive. But losing Jack Grealish was a huge blow to them as Martinez picks the ball up inside the penalty area. At the moment, this has been a terrific watch, even for a 0-0. This has been very good watching. Here's Target now getting it forward just behind Ramsey there, Jacob Ramsey, as he tried to play that ball in there, Target. But now Luca Dean, remember, no Coleman, no Richarlison, and no Pickford for Everton, all injured. And a free kick has been awarded to Aston Villa, fouled by Alex Iwobi, former Arsenal player. Just to remind you that we've got delayed commentary of the turf ball clash this afternoon, again from the Premier League, between Burnley and Arsenal. That will be with Russ Burning commentating as soon as we're finished here after the final whistle. Russ will be streaming that one for you on all platforms. And then we've got some live commentary tomorrow. We've got West Ham against Manchester United for you. Plus, we'll have some EFL Cup action during the week, and of course, we'll be back with Premier League action next week. Of course, as the free kick comes into the penalty area, comes out to the edge of the area, and here is Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey, trying to get the crossing. Townsend then boots it away, left-footed on the turn on the halfway. Everton have brought everybody back behind the ball, incidentally. That's why Townsend hit it into no man's land, and Martinez was able to pick the ball up. Anyway, the ball threaded out to Target. Target with a first-time cross. Goalkeeper wasn't sure whether to stick or twist Begovic, and it almost cost Everton dearly there. Watkins trying to head it back into the path of Ings, and he couldn't be found. And meanwhile, Everton just with a free-kick foul on Allen outside the area. And the danger subsides for Everton at that moment in time. But again, good cross from Target. Begovic not really sure whether to stick or twist. It was a good header away, cut by Mina. Watkins climbed up with 2 Everton defenders, and Rafa Benitez will be a bit concerned about that. Let me just run you through the 2 set 11s. We haven't had a chance because it's been an open start to the game as usual. So one change for Villa from the first half. So it's Martinez in goal, Cash, Konza, Tranzeba, Mings and Target. And then Ramsey, Louise, and now it's Marvel's Makamba with Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins up front. Everton have changed from the first half with Begovic, Mina, Godfrey, Keane, Iwobi, Allen, Decore, Luca Dean, Townsend, Gray, and Solomon Rondon. And Rondon looked as if he was fouled there. Well, Robert Gray was, but Craig Fortin says, no way, you're not getting that. But I have to say, Konza had a fistful of shirt. And Everton are quite unfortunate there not to win a free kick on the edge of the penalty box. The edge of the Villa penalty box, because it did look a nailed-on free kick to me. Once we have VAR controversy at the Etihad, where it finished goalless between Manchester City and Southampton. A good point now for Ralph Fusenetto. Southampton no stress they should have had a penalty. As the ball is now threaded over once again. And there's another foul there. This time by Mings. The referee now having to have eyes on the back of his head at the moment. And if you're wondering why I'm getting alerts, I'm doing the commentary off StreamYard on the mobile phone, and I'm having to switch my notification bells off at the moment, so then you can hear the commentary, no problem. So apologies for that. I keep forgetting to do that. Anyway, free kick to Everton, and it's about 15 yards outside the area. I'd say about 40 yards from goal, something like that. Now then, 10 minutes gone in the second half. Can we see a breakthrough in this game? We're praying for a goal here at Villa Park. Big full house here at the moment. 4 fouls each, 18 total. Now, Townsend, who scored that screaming goal against Burnley during the week. There's a possibility of testing Martinez maybe with the left foot. Allen can strike with the right foot. And he's got a good set-piece repertoire as well. Just to the right of the tee. As I say, about 10, 15 yards outside the penalty area. Looks like it's going to be Townsend. He's might favour the longer run up. It's technically made for the left footer, and it is Townsend on the left foot, and it hit the wall. It wasn't a particularly well hit free kick from Andros Townsend, but he retrieved the situation on halfway and get the ball back to Emiliano Martinez, who kicks away right-footed over the halfway line, but that'll go back to Asmir Begovic, who kicked it away, and then it goes back to Martinez. I've just tidied that one up very nicely there. Konza now, back to Konza. Douglas Luiz in possession. And again, just trying to play through the lines again, Villa, and they might get in here on this far side. Douglas Luiz making a good long bursting run down that right-hand channel. But it's knocked away once again. Twanatsabi should get there, and he does. Once again, we're just having one or two issues, but we'll stay with you and busk away while we're waiting to come back live. Hopefully we won't miss anything at the moment at Villa Park. It's 0-0, and we've had something in the region of about 10 minutes gone in the second half, and we're now back live with the action. Ball laid into the penalty area. That's going to run out of play for a goal kick. It's been tough going today. It really has for both sides, but they've created a lot of good opportunities. And in retrospect, when you look back at the opportunities that they've actually had, on another day they could have been 3-3. Yeah, so it's not been a bad game by any means at all. It's actually been quite a good watch. Not going to say, as a commentator, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, even for a 0-0. It's been an enjoyable match, and I've absolutely loved every minute of it. Anyway, we've still got a good 32 minutes left, and everything could still change. Of course, we'll keep you updated with the cricket, which has just kept up now. The final, the T20, has just got underway between Kent and Somerset. And we'll try and keep you updated with the latest scores, and if there's any wickets go down, we'll let you know. As the ball now comes over to Townsend. Townsend gets the crossing from the right-hand side, but it's too close to Emiliano Martinez, who takes possession very well. 58 gone at Villa Park, still 0-0. But here's a Welby winning the ball back deep inside Villa territory. Here's Gray now, laning in there. A Welby shoots, but right at the goalkeeper at the near post. I think it might have been drifting wide towards the side netting. In any case, but Martinez couldn't be certain, had to get down at the near, which was the right-hand post, or the left-hand post as he looks at it. The goalkeeper anyway. And he did okay there. Don't think Rawobi's shot was going inside the near post. Certainly heading directly towards the side netting. And here's target now at the other end for Villa. Infield it goes to Ramsey. Ramsey now turns. Looks for Twanzebe. And Twanzebe gets the ball out there to Konza. Looking for Cash. Cash now plays a nice little ball there. And Villa keeping possession rather nicely. Konza now to Mings. Mings now going forward. Midway inside the Everton half. Tries to pick out a pass which goes astray. And kicked away by Asmir Begovic. And as we come up towards an hour gone. Quarter of an hour played of the second half. It's still Aston Villa 0. Everton 0. How it's 0-0, I have no idea. Twanzaba now gets the ball out towards the far side, and it's Konza. Hits a right-footed ball looking towards Mings, but he's well stopped there and hooked away. We've had an hour and still no score. Half an hour to play, and it's Villa 0, Everton 0. Good match for a 0-0 this. Here's target. Oh, he was definitely fouled there. The referee thought about it for a split second and was quite right to give the free kick. Godfrey, the offender. So the left-hand side for Villa, halfway inside the Everton half of the field. And they're going to make another change here, Aston Villa. Off comes Matt Target, and Bailey, number 31, is going to come on. Leon Bailey, of course, to give him his full name. And one of the new signings through the door here at Villa Park. One of Jack Grealish's replacements, of course. Danny Ings was another new face. It's Leon Bailey, who's done plenty of good things abroad in his career. But this is his first chance to see what he can do in an English club. And he's a very good player, very skillful player, very underrated sort of player. And he's quickly got the set piece as well. Douglas Luiz is the other man. McTaggart has been sacrificed. So it's an offensive change that Dean Smith has made. Here's Bailey with his first touch with a free kick. Deep one into the penalty area. Comes out again, this time to Cash. Here is Cash now. And Villa looking for the kill. They've made their second substitution as Mings tries to flick it goalwards inside the penalty area. But flicks it well wide of the right-hand post. It was Ramsey's ball in. And just flicks. Tries to flick it sort of nonchalantly well wide of the post. Let's see a change now for Everton. Here's the man who actually changed the game the other night at home to Burnley, Andre Gomez. Rondon has gone off and Gomez is on. So I'm assuming that Graham Townsend will probably play as a front two. Gomez, the extra man in midfield. It was his willingness to get around and play balls that bisected the Burnley defence, which really led to Everton's comeback at Goodison Park on Monday night. Goal kick's not a very good one now from Begovic, well read by Aston Villa on the halfway line. On target, 7 attempts apiece and 1 on target, so it's not been a dull 0-0 by any stretch of the imagination. It's been a very open game full of real good opportunities. Anybody who's turned up and paid £30, win probability 26% Villa, 24% Everton, and it's looking increasingly like the draw might be the more likely option at 50%. That's the win probability, and that's powered by Oracle Cloud, the Premier League official statisticians. As here's a Welby now on the ball here for Everton. 63 gone. Villa 0, Everton 0 if you just joined us. Here comes Allen knocking the ball out towards the far side. Plenty forward here if they can manage it here, Villa. And Gomez is waiting in the centre as the ball is chipped in there towards the back post and just beyond Glenn Godfrey. He'd made a leg dash towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. He was looking for Townsend in there. Godfrey, he would have taken a lot for Godfrey to go on the end of that. So 63 gone. Nearly 64 gone here, live on the commentary hub in association with our broadcast partners JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM and Commentary Hub 2. We're also live on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Aston Villa 0, Everton 0 on the TC Hub. We also have a Twitter handle which is at Commentary Live 1 where you can actually listen to the games as well as have an opinion from our commentary team. As Townsend comes charging forward, there's a man free here. It's Damari Gray inside the area. Gray shoots! Oh, he's just wide. He's just wide in the air, just wide edge of the area. He darted into the area and hit the right foot side footer, and it was just wide of the right-hand post of Emiliano Martinez. We almost had the breakthrough. I was expecting the net to ripple. The former Birmingham striker, or the former Birmingham youngster, almost striking goal for Everton, who could top the league with the win here tonight. Oh, well, there was a question asked at our time by a listener, Ryan. Will Damari Gray score? Well, Gray himself almost provided the answer for us. Anyway, here's Douglas Luiz at the other end, and here goes Villa inside the penalty area. Villa have a chance, and they scored! A brilliant goal! It's Matty Cash! It's Matty Cash for Villa! 65 minutes gone. It's Aston Villa 1, Everton 0, and Matty Cash. What an inspired run down the right-hand side. He got the ball, he cut inside into the penalty area, and then just smashed it left-footed beyond the despairing dive of Asmir Begovic. And Aston Villa are leading 1-0. The team that are unbeaten so far this season with a win and a draw so far in their 2 previous games at Villa Park are in front here against Everton. Darting behind the defender and Bosch into the net. Breakthrough away from Luca Dean, and what an inspired run. It reminded me of Lee Martin all the way back in 1990 when he made an inspired run in the cup final against Crystal Palace when he was playing for Manchester United. But it's Matty Cash, the former Nottingham Forest player, who fires the villains in front. 1-0 to Aston Villa, and Everton, who missed their opportunity for Jamari Gray, have been punished. And as big Stan, Rafa Benitez will taste defeat for the first time as Everton manager unless they can come back from the dead in this one. 66 gone. We've got a breakthrough. I told you I don't do goalless draws, didn't I? 1-0 to Aston Villa. Matty Cash, what a super goal that was. It really was a cracking little run. And super finish to boot. Great goal. So, live on the commentary hub and JDAX Football and JB Sports and Storm FM and TCM2. We've got a breakthrough. 1-0. We're also live on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Free kick. Foul on Douglas Luiz. And Alan, I think, is the man being spoken to there by the referee. And really, that's got the Villa fans bang up for it now. They're so happy. They really are. And the atmosphere now at the Old End, well, no wonder it's the 12th man. They were roaring like it was the 12th man when Cash put that ball away. And he's a through again. They've taken the free kick quickly. Cash was I think he's trying to score again from an acute angle. He hit an Everton player and goes behind for a Villa corner. Goodness me. This has been some second half, this. Aston Villa now, that I got to tell you that the whole Villa Park ground is shaking to its foundations. 8th corner in the entire game, 4th one for Villa, who lead 1-0 with 67 gone. In fact, 68, make it 68 gone. We're halfway through the second half. In comes the corner from, and it's going to be a goal! An own goal, I think! Miggs is claiming it! 2 goals in 3 minutes, and Bailey might have scored direct from the corner from the far side. And if he has, it's a superb goal. Whether he meant it or not is a different matter. But what it does do is give Villa the confidence of a 2-goal buffer. Let's clear this one up from the corner. Did it go in off anybody? It looks like it's Leon Bailey's goal. Let's see if it deflected. May have shaved Luca Dean's head. It did. It might be an own goal by Luca Dean, although Bailey was claiming it. That's certainly one for the dubious goals committee. But the important point is that Aston Villa has scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. Leon Bailey with the corner. Whether it went in directly or whether it came off Dingley's head, I'm not quite sure, but Begovic was deceived, that is for sure. Excuse me, 2-0, and it's been chalked down as an own goal by Luca Dean. And Villa are going for another one. It's Ramsey shot! Oh, it's nearly 3! It's nearly 3. It was almost 3 goals in 5 minutes, and Jacob Ramsey with the side of the right foot, nearly finding the right-hand corner. Oh. Well, Everton are now finding out how it felt. Now Everton fans are finding out how it felt on Monday night for a Burnley fan to score quick goals against him. Sometimes football works in that sort of circle. Here's Townsend now. Townsend. Can Everton fight back? Not with balls like that in behind. And hit 2 over the top. It's going to be one of those nights, I think, for Rafa's side. Oh, my goodness me. I just need to take a sip of drink there because I think my voice is going. And I've still got 20 minutes to go, and Villa Park is absolutely rocking now. John Joe Kenny about to come on now for Everton, who trail 2-0. Matty Cash with the first one on 65 minutes. And then 2 minutes later, Luca Dean own goal from a Leon Bailey corner. My voice is fine. Don't you worry about that, Russ. I'll busk it. 2-0 to Villa. An amazing second half. I knew there was goals in this game, and I have to say, I've not been from a neutral's point of view, I've not been disappointed at all. My word. You can hardly pause for breath. Here's Mina now trying to shake off the advances of Watkins. And Villa now looking in complete control. Good pirouette from Marvellous Makamba. And Bailey now. Into Watkins. Back to Bailey. What an impact he's had as a substitute. And he's around the defender. And he's gone down. And what's the referee giving here? Free kick, I believe. Yes, Ben Godfrey's going to be spoken to. And I think he's going to book Ben Godfrey, actually. Yep. I've got a talented player here in Leon Bailey. Who needs Jack Grealish? Well, free kick to Villa. Can they work the Oracle and seal the game now good and proper? John Joe Kenny has just come on for Everton. Can they? And it looks as if... who's gone off? Allen looks as if he's been substituted. He's just gone off there. Yep. In fact, it isn't John Joe Kenny. I got that one wrong. It's Gordon, sorry. Gordon is now on. Apologies. Gordon wears 24. I thought it was a number 2. So I thought it was John Joe Kenny, but it's not. It's Gordon, number 24. Right, anyway, free kick to Villa. In it goes. And has that gone in? No, I think it might have struck the crossbar from Douglas Luiz. And if it did, it was some shot. Let's have a look at it again on the replay. Right-footed. No, I think it just hit the roof of the net, actually. Excuse me. Just hit the roof of the net, actually, and bounced away. From the first angle, though, from the naked eye, it looked as if it whizzed, snapped right off the crossbar, but it didn't. Anyway, Villa on the attack. 2-0 up and looking very confident and composed now. Matty Cash with an inspired goal to break the deadlock, and then from a Leon Bailey corner, Luke in at the right-hand post, put through his own net into the left-hand corner. If you've missed it, and that's just for the benefit of those who have just joined us. Before that, both Villa and Everton made several key opportunities. Rondon came close a couple of times before he was substituted. Tyrone Mings came closest in the first half when Begovic made a terrific point-blank range save. So it's all been happening here. Where have you been for the last 73 minutes? Anyway, back to the game. And remember, well, try and get an update on the latest score in the cricket as well. There's a 2020 final going on down the road at Edgbaston, and hopefully Russell will be able to feed me the latest 2020 score to tell you all about, because of course some of us commentators on the TCO are big cricket fans. I number myself as a cricket fan, and on my county aren't there because Somerset put pay to our chances in the quarterfinals. Here come Villa now with Leon Bailey. He's clean through. Bailey shoots left-footed, and in it goes! In it goes! And Leon Bailey makes it 3. He'll get a yellow card for surely taking his shirt off. Forever love Steffi Gregg is the message. He'll get a booking for that, but he won't care because Aston Villa have sealed the deal with a quarter of an hour to spare. It's Aston Villa 3, Everton 0, and Rafa Benitez's unbeaten record as Everton manager will come to a abrupt end here in Birmingham tonight. And it all came from a throw-in. And he was left completely unmarked. They played him onside, and he just took his time, left foot, and passed Begovic before he could even blink. And it nestled sweetly into the right-hand corner of the net. Quarter of an hour to play here at Villa Park on the Commentary Hub and JDAC Football, JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2 and Storm FM. And Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. It's Aston Villa 3, Everton 0. Leon Bailey with the third. A rasping right-footed drive into the net. And that whole thing going absolutely bonkers. Brilliant goal. Gets booking, of course, for taking his shirt off to reveal that message I just read out. Of course, it has to be done now. It is FIFA protocol, but he won't care, Leon Bailey. He's now put the icing on the cherry on the cake with a quarter of an hour to spare. Aston Villa 3, Everton 0. Wow, what a second half for Villa, and what a 10 minutes they've had. 3 goals in 10 minutes. Now Rafa knows what Sean Dyche went through on Monday night. And the Everton fans know what we Burnley fans went through on Monday night, I can tell you. Right, latest latest score at the moment. Kent batting first, and they've had 5 overs. Remember, it's 5 overs, it's 6 in the power play, 40 without loss so far against Somerset. If a wicket falls, we'll let you know. So Kent 40 without loss after 5 overs of the T20 Blast final. They're playing Somerset. Kent batting first in that final. Free kick to Aston Villa inside the centre circle, inside their own half. But Leon Bailey, what a superb third goal. Great goal it was. And Everton, of course, playing him onside. I think it might have been Godfrey played him onside, in fact. But here he is now on the ball. Left-hand side. My word, what a cracking 10-minute spell in the second half we've had here. But it's been a rip-roaring, fast-paced 77 minutes of football that we've thoroughly enjoyed. And it could have been more than 3, to be honest with you, in that time, because, of course, Ramsey had a chance that just went wide of the right-hand upright. As Damari Gray now, who came closest to scoring at that point at 0-0, as, well, that chance has now proved critical as Gomez, who's been less effective so far, looks for Luca Dean, whose own goal made it 2-0 to Villa. He tries to assist now. Chance inside the area for Gomez, deflects. It'll come for Townsend, who crosses back. Can Everton get on the scoreboard at least? Luca Dean will certainly try. But Cashew got the first one. He's there too, even though Gordon was quite close at hand. And here come Villa on the counter-attack. And they've been brilliant tonight. Here's Ramsey again, breaking through the centre. Looks for Bailey. Just overhits the pass. Bailey might just keep it in on this left-hand side. He does. Now, will he whip past Godfrey and just get to the byline? Well, I think he's had to stop. Ramsey's pulled up a little bit lame. In fact, we've got a wicket flash in the cricket. 5.2 overs gone. Wicket gone down for Kent. Bell Drummond caught Smeed. Bowled Vandermeer for 18. So if you're a Kent fan, you've just lost your first wicket. 42 for 1 in the cricket in the 2020 Blast final down the road at Edgbaston. Meanwhile, we've got a break in play in the football live on the TC Hub and JDAC Football, JB Sports, Commentary Hub 2. And it's Bernie, in fact, who's down on his orchards. But, of course, we used 2 of their free allotted subs. And, of course, one of them was actually an enforced one because McGinn went off with concussion, of course, towards the end of the first half. There's about 10 minutes to go. Or 11 minutes to go, plus any stoppage or injury time. But he's played his part tonight, Leon Bailey. There's no doubt about that. A goal and assist for him in a 10-minute blast where Villa just took complete control. And it was all thanks to that miss from Damari Gray. If he had scored, it would have been a completely different ball game. Everton preparing to bring on Tom Davis as well. And another player, I can't tell who it is. But we'll try and settle things out there in just a second. Godfrey's gone off. John Joe Kenny is on now. Godfrey's now gone off the field down below us. And he's putting his hands down. Tom Davis, another product of the Youth Academy at Goodison Park, is replacing the ineffective Alex Awobi. But a tough night for the Evertonians tonight. And now it's up to Rafa Benitez now to try and rally the troops for next week. Bailey is being helped away, but I tell you what, he has produced a blistering 10-minute cameo here. Came on, and his introduction really changed the course of the game. And he's getting a tremendous reception from the Villa Park faithful. And why not? And Leopold's back, and that's a nice touch. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. It's just a precautionary measure. Excuse me. Hopefully it's just a strain of some kind. But Dean Smith not at 3-0 up. Quite rightly, just not risking it really for a chocolate biscuit as he comes off. He's getting a tremendous ovation from this capacity crowd at Villa Park. And he comes off, as I say, to a standing ovation. But what a 10-15 minute blast he put in there. So Bailey off. And on in his place comes Ashley Young, who's now back at Villa after a big spell at Manchester United, of course. And, of course, at Inter Milan. And there's been another wicket in the cricket. Tom Denley has gone for a duck. Caught Tom Abel. And Van der Meer has taken his second victim. So 44 for 2. Kent in the 2020 Blast final. Somerset are fighting back. Van der Meer has taken 2 very quick wickets. 44 for 2 is the latest score in the T20 Blast at the moment. We've got about 9 or 10 minutes to go at Villa Park, just down the road from Edgbaston. So Somerset taking a stranglehold in the cricket. And it's 6 overs now gone in the cricket. It's now 46 for 2. 46 for 2 Kent in the 2020 Blast. We'll keep you updated for the rest of the night here before our broadcast is out. And then after I've finished here and we've wrapped up the programme, Russ and myself, I'll be tuning in to the climax of that T20 Blast final. Shall be a classic finish there. But that's the latest score we've got at the moment at Edgbaston. At Villa Park, it's Aston Villa 3, Everton 0. This is Ashley Young and his first touch on the left-hand side. I think Villa will be contented now to keep it at 3. But I'll tell you what, the scoreline just flatters Aston Villa a little bit because Everton have given as good as they've got. Mind you, they've had it tough themselves tonight without 3 key men. They've missed Pickford badly. I think they've missed Coleman's leadership very badly. And they've missed Richarlison's industry in hard work and pace badly as well. It's been very tough going. And then Rondon, they tried that trick with Andre Gomez. It hasn't quite worked tonight for them. And they've done a Burnley, really. Conceded 3 goals in a 10-minute spell. And now they know how Burnley fans felt on Monday night when they put a 3-goal blitz past Nick Pope as the cross comes in, deflects, and it will be, I think, an Aston Villa corner. He's had a good game tonight, Tyrone Mings. I have to say, he's certainly in the running for man of the match, and I've got that vote to make in a few minutes' time. We're going to see Traore come on now for Aston Villa, and every substitution is quite busy. Yes, you read my mind there, Russ. Actually, I've got a tough decision to make in something like 4 or 5 minutes' time. Anyway, here come Everton now with Damari Gray. They're not going to give up the ghost by any stretch of the imagination. Rafa Benitez will see to that, but it's an away day defeat. They're still unbeaten at Goodison, of course. 2 wins, both by 3 goals to 1 against Southampton and Burnley, respectively. But 10 points from 15 is still not a bad return, as Gordon is fouled on the far side by Matty Cash, who's certainly in the running, of course, for man of the match. Begovic was, and obviously the goals have gone past him now. He was in the running with that blinding save from Mings earlier on in the first half. 5.5 minutes left to play at Villa Park. 3-0 it is to the home team, Aston Villa, but it's an Everton 3-kick deep inside Villa territory, which Dignia takes and headed wide by Michael Keane, who scored on Monday night, incidentally, and again had another good opportunity, unmarked from 6 yards. But unlike at Goodison Park, couldn't take his chance at Villa Park, although it would have been no more possibly than a consolation goal. And a goal kick it is to Aston Villa. 46 for 2 in the cricket, and another injury now, this time to Matty Cash, who's limping off. He's coming off now, and Traore will take his place now. And he's certainly in the running for man of the match. He's had a good game at the right back. He really has, and has scored a superb goal to set the game alight. Just seconds after Damari Gray had missed a golden opportunity at the north stand end for Everton. Villa just blasted away through, and he made an inspired run down the right-hand side and just thrashed it in left-footed. And I think he might just clinch the man of the match award. He's had a good match, possibly, but we'll confirm that in a second. 7 overs have just gone in the T20 Blast final for Kent, 51 for 2 there, so they're past 50. But they've lost 2 wickets and they've lost one of their key men, Joe Danley, without scoring. 4 minutes to go, nearly 4 minutes to go then at Villa Park in the football, and it's Aston Villa 3, Everton 0. And here's Jacob Ramsey on the ball. Goes back to Ashley Young. And now goes back to Tyrone Mings, who has had a good, solid game at the heart of the defence. Will kick away by Emiliano Martinez towards the far side. When the ball goes out of play, I'll tell you who the man in the match is. And there's a good couple of candidates for Aston Villa. Absolutely for sure. Leon Bailey would have been a candidate, but he only had about 15 minutes. But I'm torn between Tyrone Mings, who's had a good game at the back, and Matty Cash, who's made some fantastic runs down the right-hand side tonight. And that really is. We've lost another one. Sam Billings has gone in the cricket. 52 for 3 now with 7.3 overs gone. Billings caught Gregory Van der Meer, who's taken his 3rd wicket in the final. Van der Meer, what a quick find he was. He was gunning the 100, you may recall, for the Trent Rockets. He's just done it again. So 3 down and 2 of the big players for Kent back in the hutch. Everton have been firmly put back in their hutch. 3-0, they trail with 3 minutes to go. Play with the match time now, and I'm going to go for Matty Cash. He has been absolutely superb. His runs down the right-hand side were really lightning fast. His work rate has been superb. When I choose a man of the match or a player of the match, I like to look at the all-round package. And Matty Cash, for the all-round package, has impressed me really well. And then the goal was absolutely inspired to get cutting from the right and then to hit the shot. An unstoppable shot was just unbelievable. So for those reasons, Matty Cash is our player of the match in association with Commentary Services. And those are the reasons why Matty Cash has got player of the match. Right, 2 minutes to go. Now that difficult bit's been sorted out. I can now relax for the last couple of minutes. Here's Danny Ings, who hasn't scored tonight, but it's certainly been another welling runner for Aston Villa. And Mina absolutely furious at the moment. He looks a frustrated guy the way he threw that ball there in disgust towards the goalkeeper there, Begovic, who can't be faulted for any of the 3 goals that have gone past him, even the second one, which took a mighty deflection off Luca Dean. So the goal scorers in chronological order: Cash after 65 minutes. 2 minutes later, it was an own goal scored by Luca Dean, and then Leon Bailey, who set up the second with that corner from the far side, gone on the score sheet a quarter of an hour from the end to make it 3-0 as the ball is knocked forward, looking towards Gordon, but it's easily in the arms of Emiliano Martinez. Looks like a clean sheet for him again. Kept one earlier on against Newcastle earlier this season in a 2-0 win. And there was good value in that game as well for a 2-0. Came back from a goal down last time out at Villa Park against Brentford, but no such problems here. But Everton, even though it's going to end in defeat for them, they've shown flashes again tonight of how good a side potentially they are. It's just that they come up against a good Villa side who had that 10-minute burst between the 65th and the 75th minute where it's just gone right for them, and that's where it's gone wrong for Everton tonight, really. But Villa, just about good value for it, although Scholar will flatter them, but Everton will probably point out that they contributed so much to a decent game of football. But anyway, here comes Andros Townsend. He won't stop running. Here's Townsend towards the area. We're playing the 90-minute shot comes in and deflects away. It was Gordon with the shot, and back comes Traore. We're now into stoppage time, and just the 3 minutes at the end of the game. As we look at Leon Bailey, played a part in 2 of the goals. This was the second one. It's corner end from the right-hand channel. Takes a deflection off Wukadin, and then from the breakout, 1 ball forward, played onside. Everton just parting or very lopsided towards the right-hand side, and Leon Bailey came in from the left and absolutely smashed it in left-footed past Asmir Begovic. I think he got a little club on it, actually. I didn't see that before, but he certainly played a part. But we've given the man in the match to Matty Cash, who got the first one, who had a superb game, and he's actually sat alongside as well. They've had a good night between them collectively. And so too have Aston Villa. 3-0 they lead. With a minute of the free gone. Remember, Kent, as things stand, are 52 for free in the cricket, last we heard. So Somerset on top of the cricket. Aston Villa definitely going to win this game at Villa Park tonight. As we now play 90 seconds of the free, with another 90 still left to play. Here's Traore now for Villa. Plays it out towards the near side, and it's Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey towards the edge of the area. Here's Watkins. Cross comes in, and a corner kick to Aston Villa towards the end. Update now in the cricket. Kent now 53 for free with 8 overs gone. So a corner to Villa as we approach the second minute elapsed of the 3. And Douglas Luiz, understandably no hurry to take his time. Aston Villa 3 up and coasted to victory. The 3 points safely in the back, although Tyrone Mings still wants a goal. He wants to get his own back on Begovic personally. Gets towards the near post. And the referee just telling Villa to get on with it. The corner comes in towards the edge of the area that time. Traore will try the shot, deflected, left-footed it was. Danny Ings has now gone to the right-hand side. Gordon to face him. He still has it, and he does really well. So it looks as if it's going to be win number 83 in matches between these two great old football fours, stretching back to the early days of the Football League, way back in 1888. Kent now 62 for free after 9 overs. We've got 15 seconds to play. Here's Traore with the shot. Deflects away. Comes to marvellous Makamba. Makamba turns. Still Villa looking to finish with a flourish. Can Traore do that for them? No, not this time. I don't think there'll be much time for anything else because the referee has blown for the end. Dean Smith, what a fantastic win for them. Dean Smith will be delighted with that performance. 3 goals in 15 minutes in the second half. The first coming after 65 minutes, Matty Cash with the first goal, who later went on to be our player of the match. And then Leon Bailey took the corner from the right-hand side 2 minutes later, which led to an own goal scored by Luca Dean. And then Bailey himself, a quarter of an hour from the end, hit a terrific left foot rasper, went clean through on Asmir Begovic to make it game, set and match for Aston Villa. Terrific performance from Villa. Very lightning quick. Everton played their part, but it just wasn't to be for them. Cash on 66, Digne on 69, Bailey 75. It's been a great night for Aston Villa. We'll be winners over Everton in the end by 3 goals to 0. And I hope you've enjoyed the commentary anyway. Well, my voice is completely and utterly cracked. And it's time for me to hand back to Russ Burnham to wrap the show up. Just to remind you of 2 upcoming games. You'll hear delayed commentary from Russ of Burnley against Arsenal from earlier this afternoon, coming up after this programme. And then tomorrow afternoon, we've got live commentary of West Ham United, against Manchester United from 1:50 on TC Hub and all the other platforms. But here at Villa Park, a great night for Aston Villa, and their unbeaten record at Villa Park continues. It's finished here, and Rafa Benitez loses his first game as Everton manager. It's finished here at Villa Park as we hand back to Russ Burnham. Aston Villa 3, Everton 0.
Thank you very much there, JB, for great coverage on the Aston Villa versus Everton game this evening. A superb win for Aston Villa after the first half performance, which would be a delight for Rafa Benitez and his side. So them going to goalless at the break. But 3 second half goals from Aston Villa give them all 3 points. Just in the final update on the cricket before we leave you. After 10 over 65 for 3 are Kent in the final against Somerset. Just want to say great work from JB for excellent coverage on the match this afternoon and this evening or morning, depending where in the world you're listening to us from. Great coverage once again, and hope you've enjoyed our coverage here on JB Sports today. Like we said earlier, like JB said during the commentary, delayed coverage of the Burnley versus Arsenal game is on the way very shortly. So from all of us here at the TC Hub, thank you very much for listening. We hope you enjoyed our coverage tonight. From all of us here at the team, as we just say to Paul, who says, thanks JB, good stuff. Thank you Paul for tuning in. Thanks to Isaac as well. Thanks to Ryan as well for also tuning in to our coverage today. Hopefully you've all enjoyed our coverage. If you missed any of the action, don't fear not. You can listen to it again at your own leisure. But don't remember, do that after you've heard Burnley versus Arsenal with me coming up when about 8:30. From all of us here, goodbye.